In a small village where everyone knew everyone, there lived a girl named Omo. People said she was the fairest of them all, not only because her skin glowed like fresh palm oil under the sunlight, or because her smile could soften the hardest heart, but because her character was rare. Omo was the kind of girl that elders use as an example. If you want to know what a good daughter looks like, they would say, look at Omo. She was the only child of her mother, a woman who had suffered life storm quietly since her husband died. Mama Omo became both father and mother to the girl. She farmed, sold products in the market, and still came home to cook and care for her daughter. But Omo did sit and watch her mother suffer. Every morning, before the sun fully rose, Omo would sweep the compound, fetch water, wash plates, and still follow her mother to the farm. In the farm, while other girls were busy complaining, Omo would be laughing and working, tying a wrapper properly, carrying basket of cassava with strength, and still greeting everyone respectfully. Good morning, ma. Good afternoon, sir. May you live long. And that was why the village loved her. But you see, love and hatred can grow in the same soil. Because while many admire Omo, two people close to her were quietly burning inside. Her best friends, Sade and Morayo, they had grown up together. They played together as little girls. They ate from the same plate. They braided each other's hair. They called each other sisters. But as they became young women, something changed. Every time there was a festival, young men would find Omo first. If there was a celebration, people would call Omo to dance at the front. When elders wanted to speak about good behavior, they would mention Omo. Meanwhile, Sade and Morayo stood behind, smiling outside but bleeding inside. One evening, after a village gathering, Sade and Morayo sat under a mango tree watching men talking and laughing around Omo's compound. Morayo sighed bitterly. Do you see that? She said, even the men that are older than us, they greet her like she is a queen. Sade's eyes were sharp, and her mother is poor, yet everyone treats her like she is rich. Morayo squeezed her fist. Not one man has come to my father's house. Sade leaned closer, voice low like a snake in grass. Because as long as Omo is here, we are invisible. Morayo looked at her. So what do we do? Sade mouth curved into a cold smile. We removed her. Morayo blinked. Remove her? How? Sade's eye didn't blink. Kill her? Morayo's throat tightened. That's too much. Sade eased. Too much? Are you not tired of being nobody? That girl is taking everything. Attention, honor, love. Once she is gone, the village will have no choice but to look at us. Morayo swallowed hard. Fear and jealousy fighting inside her. But she has done nothing to us. Sade scoffed. Our existence is the offense, and that night a terrible plan was formed. 2 days later, Sade and Morayo came to Omo's house, smiling widely. Omo, Morayo called sweetly. We want to go to the farm today. Come with us. Omo wiped her hands and smiled. Of course, let me tell my mother. Mama Omo looked at them suspiciously, not because she had proof, But because a mother spirit hears what ears cannot, Omo, she said softly, come back early. Yes, Mama. And off they went. 3 girls walking the path to the farm, laughing like they were innocent. Along the way, Sade and Morayo whispered to each other behind Omo's back, today is the day. Sade murmured. Morayo's voice shook. Are we really doing this? Sade's face hardened. If you shaking out, I will expose you. Remember we planned together. Morayo's leg felt weak, but she kept walking. When they reached the farm area, they passed trees and bushes until they got to a quiet spot where people rarely walked. Then Sade stopped suddenly. Omo, she shouted excitedly. Look! Omo turned. On a tall mango tree, ripe mangoes hung like golden blessings. Morayo forced a smile. Ah, Omo, you are the one who can climb best. Please help us get some for us. Omo laughed. Is that all? You people are mango. She dropped her basket and walked closer. Sade pretended to be caring. Be careful. Omo nodded. I will be. She began to climb. As she climbed higher, Sade and Morayo exchanged a quick look. Omo reached the top and began to pluck mangoes. 1, 2, 3, she counted, throwing them down gently. The girls picked the mangoes and pretended to laugh. Then Omo leaned down a little. Do you want more? Sade's voice was sweet but wicked. Yes, plenty. Fill our baskets. Omo smiled and climbed even higher, and that was when they did it. Sade pulled out dry leaves she had hidden. Morayo brought a small bottle of oil. Their hands were shaking, but their hearts were already dark. They poured oil at the base of the tree, stuffed the dry leaves around it, and Sade struck a matches. A small flame rose. Morayo froze. Sade, what if she jumps down? Sade snapped. She won't. The smoke will confuse her. Let it burn. The fire grew fast. Omo suddenly smelled something strange. She looked down and her body went cold. Fire! She whispered. Then she screamed, Sade, Morayo, why is there fire? But instead of helping her, they stepped back and laughed. Almost eyes widened in disbelief. My friends, what are you doing? Sade shouted, voice filled with wickedness. Die there! Let the village look for another example. Rubbish. Morayo's laughter was shaky, forced, but still evil. The fire climbed the tree like an angry spirit. Smoke covered Omo's face. Her throat burned. Her eyes watered. The mangoes fell from her hands. She tried to climb down, but the heat rose and her skin began to blister. She screamed, please, please. But her friends were already running away, laughing, disappearing into the bush, and Omo was trapped alone, burning, choking, crying. Unknown to them, a man was watching. Eze the hunter, hidden in the bush, returning from the forest, had seen everything. He didn't waste time. He ran towards the tree, grabbed a long branch, and began to beat the frame away from one side. Then he shouted loudly, "Jump to this side!" Omo was coughing, crying. I can't. Eze shouted again, stronger. "You will die if you stay there. Jump!" With the little strength left, Omo pushed herself away from the burning side and jumped. Eze caught her. Both of them fell to the ground. He dragged her away from the fire, rolling her on the sand to stop the flames on her wrapper. Omo lay there, trembling, burned, exhausted, half-conscious. Eze lifted her gently. "My daughter, who did this to you?" Omo's lips were shaking. My friends." Eze's eyes turned dark. "Friends?" He carried her into the forest path quickly, using hidden roots. Eze's wife, Ineka, almost dropped the water pot when she saw Omo. "Jesus!" she cried. "What happened?" Eze said, "No time. Bring water. Bring clean cloth." They washed her burns carefully, applied herbs, and fed her warm soup. For 2 days, Omo slept like someone who had traveled to the edge of death and came back. When she finally woke fully, Ineka sat beside her. "You are safe here," she said softly. "But tell us, what did you do to those girls?" Omo's tears dropped. "I did nothing. I was kind. I loved them. I thought they loved me too." Ineka sighed painfully. Jealousy is a disease that makes people hate the innocent. Eze added, "But we can't hide you here forever. Your mother will be dying of worry." Omo eyes widened. "My mother." She tried to sit up, but groaned in pain. Eze nodded. "We will tell the village at the right time." Back in the village, Mama Omo waited. Morning passed. Afternoon came. Evening fell. Omo did not return. Mama Omo ran out, calling, "Omo, Omo." The villagers joined. They searched the paths, the farms, the streams, the bushes, even the young men who admired her picked lanterns and searched through the night. Shade and Morayo joined the search too, crying loudly, acting like the closest friends. "Ah, Omo, where are you?" But guilt is heavy. That night, Morayo began to shake. She could still hear Omo screaming from the burning tree. She couldn't eat. She couldn't sleep. Shade whispered angrily, "If you talk, you will destroy both of us." Morayo cried, "I didn't know it would be like that. I didn't know." Shade grabbed her shoulder tightly. "Shut up. You wanted attention. This is the price." The next morning at the market, Morayo suddenly collapsed. People rushed to her. "Water, water." Her eyes were wide like someone saying spirit. Then she screamed, "We did it! We burned Omo on the mango tree." The market froze. Women dropped baskets. Men stood up. "What did you say?" A guard shouted. Morayo cried louder, pointing. "Shade planned it. She said when Omo dies, men will look at us." Shade tried to run, but the crowd caught her. They dragged both girls before the village head. That same day, Eze came into the village square For the first time in years, he raised his hand. People of the village stopped searching. Everyone turned. He said clearly, Omo is alive. A sound rose. Shock, relief, crying, shouting. Mama almost screamed and almost fainted. Where is my daughter? Eze replied, she is safe, but injured. I rescued her. The village followed him. When Mama almost saw Omo lying weak but alive, she cried like a woman who had been resurrected. My child, my only child. Omo opened her eyes slowly. Mama Omo held her tight. They said you were gone. Omo whispered, I came back, Mama. I came back for you. At the village hearing, Shade and Murayo knelt down, trembling. Murayo cried and begged for mercy. Shade's face was stiff, but fear lived in her eyes. The village head spoke. This village does not reward wickedness. You tried to kill a girl whose only offense was good character. He looked at Omo. My daughter, what do you say? Omo stood up carefully. She faced them. My heart is broken, she said softly, because the people I trusted the most were the ones who tried to destroy me. She pushed her voice stronger. But I will not become bitter. I forgive you, but you will never have access to me again. The village murmured because her words carry power. The village head gave judgment. Shade and Murayo would be banished to live with distant relatives for a long time, working hard, and their families would pay a fine to Eze and Ineka for almost care. Then the village head turned to Eze and Ineka. You saved a life. From today, your name will be honored. The village gave them gifts, food, goats, clothes, and land. And Mama Omo held Eze's hand with tears. You saved my daughter. You saved my word. You also saved my life. Eze replied simply, goodness doesn't need noise. It only needs action. Months later, Omo healed. Her scars still remain, but they became a testimony. The village respected her even more, not only for her beauty and kindness, but for her wisdom. When men came again to ask for her hand, Omo spoke to her mother. Mama, let the man who wants me also have good character. Beauty fades, but character speaks even when you are silent. And the village never forgot Omo's story because it taught them that jealousy can burn a person's alive, but truth will always rise like smoke. Everyone will smell it. And with this, we've come to the end of Omo's story. Food for thought. Character is greater than beauty. Not everyone close to you is for you. Jealousy turns friendship into poison. Kindness needs wisdom. Don't ignore red flags. Forgiveness is good, but boundaries are necessary. Truth may delay, but it never die. One good person can save a life. Be that person. Celebrate others. Their blessing is not your curse. And this is Tales by RS. Reality stories with people we love. real life. And please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Bye.